singing jigs, joy of singing jigs, yeah.
Do you know that it's possible to learn ways of enjoying music more? A key here is in how we listen. And in this video, I want to explore with you 5 different ways of listening to jigs that help you grow not just the skill of singing them, but also increase the enjoyment of listening to them too. Before we look at these 5 ways, I want to introduce the 3 corners of musical development as technique, listening, and understanding. Technique is about the how of what we do, how we sing or play, and that's often the focus of musical education. Understanding is about what we need to know to help us to do this well. And in this course, we're including psychological understanding as well as musical understanding. What was a step forward for me in my understanding was that I could learn to listen at a deeper level, where I notice more of what's going on and feel more engaged with it. The research shows that when we do this, we tend to enjoy music more, and that's been my experience. Okay, our first type of listening is just listening. So that's how you might normally listen. You know, it's in the background. It's great to do just listening. There's some times where you're washing up and you're just listening while you're doing the washing up. And it goes in, it sinks in. The more you expose yourself to a piece of music, the more the familiarity will grow. So that's the preparation stage of change, just listening. You can also do active listening. And with active listening, it's like you're turning towards whatever it is you're listening to. And there's a great outcome here. Research shows that actually your ability to enjoy music can grow with a number of specific steps you can take. And one of them is just getting more familiar. When you're more familiar with a piece of music, you tend to enjoy it more. But also active listening to music tends to increase enjoyment of it. So active listening, one way to actively listen is to close your eyes. You might say, okay, I'm going to focus my attention. You might have this as like mindfulness of the music. I'm going to just be really paying attention to it. And so let's do that now. Let's have just 30 seconds of hearing the song, and you might close your eyes. And when you're doing active listening, sometimes it can be supported by questions. Like one question is, what am I noticing? What's going on here? Okay, 30 seconds of listening, beginning now. And one thing you might have noticed about that was that that was just the backing track just there. Anybody want to say anything that they noticed about that?
I just found myself tapping it and moving, nodding my head into the rhythm and wanting to. So just my bodily movement was like engaging.
Ah, fantastic. Shalina, what were you going to say?
Exactly the same. I just, the body just wanted to move to it.
And that's our next way of listening. So, okay, there's just listening, there's active listening. And what I'm hearing is that when you actively listen, it's evoking a response in you. And when they do brain scans of people actively listening to music, what they find out is that the parts of brain that are active are the same as those parts that are active when musicians are playing instruments. And so there's similar parts of the brain involved. And that's why I really want to emphasize that actively listening to music, particularly if you're getting into it and you're nodding your head, you're musically engaged, is a musical activity. And so seeing this as this is one of the frontiers of musical development, I want to suggest now that if you notice that part of you wants to move, that you lean into that more strongly. So this is listening with movement. Notice what part of you wants to move. And if you're nodding your head, I'm going to suggest that you, like, where does the down come there? I put my hand here. And I find that, because what happens with rhythm is a loop that comes back to itself. See if you can notice in your movement, is there a swaying from one side to another? Is there part of you that when you're moving towards something and then back to your original point? There may be a swaying, and this is the kind of the lilt that might be shifting from one side to the other. So, okay, so what we're doing now is just leaning into that movement and doing it more. And we're going there. We're continuing the song. We're going to take one step more, because if you move, then you've got the groove. And one way into the groove in terms of musical understanding is counting. And if you can count, then you can lilt, because counting is just using words in time with the music. I'm gonna offer you some different ways of counting. So the first one is I talked about this as 6/8 time. And that means that actually that there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could also count this as 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2 and a. When I'm counting it, I often just count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because I find that rolls off the tongue more easily. And when lilting, that's important to go with what feels like it flows. When you're counting away, and you can try these different ways, an important question that comes up is, when do I breathe? We need some gaps in the count to catch our breath. And we can also use these gaps to create rhythmic phrases. For example, if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a gap for the second 5 and 6, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or with the 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Or 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. 1 and a 2 and a 1 and a 2. Let's try this with the backing beat. It's at a slightly slower pace than before. I'll start you off. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so far we've looked at 4 types of listening: just listening, active listening, listening with movement, and listening while counting. For our 5th type of listening, we're going to be looking at how you combine expression with also receptivity, where you listen while also speaking or singing or playing an instrument. And we're going to be focusing on this in our next video, where we look at how we can learn tunes through call and response. Look forward to see you there.